Good morning, everybody. Welcome to day 23. You would think I would remember from day after day. To 100 Days of Magic. And today, something a little fun. There was, y'all know, like a decade ago, I had a shop, and that being the case, I played a whole lot of one-on-one. Played a lot of standard, played a lot of whatever, and I encouraged a lot of EDH. But there are times when you want another game but you still love Magic. So what I did was me and the wife came up with an idea, and we found Magic Set Editor. It's a free program you can download to make your own Magic cards. Um, a lot of people use it to make proxies, but so they can test before they buy. But we took it a different route. We were like, what if? Yeah, yeah. So that's what we did, and we made little 40 card decks there's a bunch of decks here, and I just picked out some highlights of cards that we made, and you know, let's look at them real quick. Yeah, I'll show you. Here, let's get our let's look at our good old favorite Pac-Man. Now, there's a lot of stuff here. Pac-Man is not a cartoon. He is just a Pac-Man because that's the only creature type he's ever had. Now, that is really, really beneficial because, well, there's nothing that hates out his tribe, right? Now, some of these are I printed, hit the quick print thing, so it wouldn't use as much ink, so some of the printing is not as good as others. But Pac-Man taps to destroy target ghost. The only problem is he can't destroy Moaning Myrtle because she just comes back. Then we have, by the way, these are cards in several different decks. It's just, I'm just doing this to show y'all. I mean, it's not a. Now, here's the thing. I didn't use Legendary quite a bit. This was like, man, this was over 10 years ago. So a lot of these cards should be Legendary. Aslan is actually Legendary, and I did it under the old templating there. And he should probably be a Legendary creature Lion Avatar. Probably. But I wanted to represent something from the Chronicles of Narnia, and Aslan was the choice. Now, what I tried to do is hop all over the properties, um, have our obligatory Star Wars card here. There's a couple. I've got Yoda, and I've got I think the Death Star. Oh, the Death Star is part of the cycle, but I really wanted to capture the flavor, and I realize Yoda is not about destroying a legendary creature. He's kind of more pacifist and whatnot, but needed some removal. I'll just be honest with you. Um, Indy, I mean, there's no other, and I tried to do as best I could with the flavor text to capture the spirit of whoever that is. See, this should also be legendary, but you know what? Ooh, that would be and all of these things matter. Um, Male, female, parent, child, uh, grandparent, all of those things, everything in the creature type line matters to some card somewhere. Let's look at our favorite from Red versus Blue here. It's the Puma because it's not a Warthog. Now, this was way back before we had the technology to actually have vehicles. Um, it was the best I could at the time, with the technology that existed. We there's a little bit of Star Trek reference ribbon through here. The Kobayashi Maru for those of y'all not versed in Trek, is one of the tests that sometimes the Starfleet cadets call it the psych test or whatever. It is a no-win scenario that Starfleet puts them through to see how, just because there's no right answer. There's no way to win the Kobayashi Maru. That's actually what it means. It's the no-win scenario. Now, James T. Kirk is the only person who ever beat the no-win scenario. He reprogrammed the computer to make it winnable. Some would say he cheated. But either way, that's because he does not believe in the no-win scenario. Yet here it is. We got Buckbeak. Witches gain flying. Hey. And wow, this must have been a terribly long time ago, because that's like spelled out lifelink. Did these predate lifelink? I wish I'd have put dates and stuff on them. We got Babylon 5. Now, I did a station cycle. I don't think I ever finished it. And the stations were Babylon 5, the Death Star, Deep Space Nine. Let's see, what else? I think the Hall of Justice. And I think there was 5 of them. And like this one didn't do it, but this one allowed you to search for the others because they were all legendary. And I don't know, it was a good idea, but I never really worked out exactly what the heck they're going to do. So I never finished it. Like the Hall of Justice is not made, and I don't think Deep Space Nine's made. But I got Bab 5 made. The only other, well, as we experience things, I would make cards, and I bought the 5-season set of Babylon 5, which is, by the way, the great. Y'all know how much I love Star Trek and I like Star Wars. Babylon 5 was the greatest science fiction show I've ever seen. All 5 seasons were written before the first episode was filmed. So there is no filler episode. There is no moment that doesn't count. There is no, I mean, it was the first one. He wrote this back in '89 or something, and he got even halfway through the show that the network died that he was on, and they had to find another network. But anyway, great show. Zahadum is where the shadows live, and the shadows are pure, probably the purest black mana I've ever seen. Because when I saw them, I went, "Whoa!" And of course, we got Walter Elias Disney. He does things with cartoons. I have kind of a cartoon themed deck, and because obviously Rufus is unblockable and Cruella de Vil does bad things, but yeah, Walter Elias Disney, Cartoon Lord. We have Snoop D-O-double-G for Shizzle. Now, Locutus of Board. I didn't realize in one-on-one. Oh, let's see if I can find the card. When we were playing one-on-one with these, how this is why playtesting is important. This is I appreciate the work of all of play design, because man, they are well, I can't find it right now. But if you excuse me, if you put if your turn 1 land was Mordor and played your Skull and Bones, which was a Dark Ritual. I just didn't want to use the name Dark Ritual, and I gave all 5 colors 1 because why not? Yes, some of you'll notice the power level of all of these. It's like crazy high, but none of them are if everything's overpowered, nothing's overpowered. You know what I'm saying? Um, well, this is also, a master class of why I am not a card designer. But like I said, this was, gosh, this may have been 15 years ago. I don't know. It's been a long time ago. So I'll have to update some more because I really want. There's a lot of properties that I really want to do a few cards of. Like I would really, really like a Jax Teller. I want to make a Jax Teller. Um, I'd love to make a Bo Bennett. Anyway, but if you go first and you play Mordor into Dark Writ into Locutus, now Mordor gives all your creatures haste. It's a black-red duel. It gives all your creatures haste. As soon as they drop their land, you steal it. And wow, I didn't realize this till it was done to me. And woo, yeah. But this is the tale of Captain Jack Sparrow, a pirate so brave. He has Puddle Walk. The basic lands, I did not use Swamp Island, whatever. I used things that I found in my yard, which was like there's a spot in the backyard that just is lower and it's always mired up. So that's why it has Puddle Walk, because of the puddles. It's the closest thing to, water bodies that I had. Anyway, I wanted a Captain Jack Sparrow card that, you just couldn't keep dead. So Transfigure. By the way, Transfigure was only used on one card in Future Sight. And if it is in play, you pay the Transfigure cost. And you sack it and go get a card of that creature or that converted mana cost. Now, creature of that converted mana cost. I'm still fuzzy on it because, like I said, it's one card. I like Transfigure. I think it's awesome. They need to do it more. Of course, there's a lot of stuff in Future Sight they need to really finish. Oh, by the way, just random thought. Tarmogoyf is a time paradox. A buddy of mine posted this on Facebook the other day. It has been pre-printed in Future Sight, because it was in the Future Shifted Border, meaning that they borrowed it from the future. And it has been reprinted in the Masters Edition sets. But it has never been actually printed. Anyway, Captain Jack Sparrow can't stay dead. Of course, we knew that. Edoras. That's right. Soldiers gain horsemanship, because that's exactly what Edoras would do. And that was another thing I tried to do, is capture the actual flavor of whatever it was. I guess y'all are getting a peek into the rest of my nerdness here and things that I thought. Selene. See? Female. Vampire assassin female. And Selene is a beast. Now, granted, in Scotland Magic, there's not a whole lot of werewolves. But, there's quite a few white cards, obviously. But we got Jack. Pirates cost one less to play, and Jack can't die either. So I didn't do Barbosa or, the rest. Galadriel. Now, this was one of the hard ones because she had to be elf and female and witch. I could have put 15 creature types on her. Advisor, I could have put wizard, I could have put anything, but my impression is she was more witch than wizard. But anyway, elf tutor helps your other elves. That's I could have also, if yes, I could have done elves and hobbits or indestructible or halflings or whatever, but I knew I was never going to do hobbits or halflings. I mean, let's face it. Well, that is my randomness for the day. Yeah, played it till my fingers bleed. It's bled, Brian. I spelled that wrong. But anyway, that's my randomness for the day. I do appreciate y'all watching, but we're just gonna throw through some. Stewie's a cartoon. Um, yeah, I am off today, so we will be getting. I'm gonna spend the day deck building. By the way, this is actually a mash of two separate cards. Okay, invisibility. You lose only one left and unblocked creature, but I mean it costs two instead of one because you know invisibility is kind of or not force field. Force field and invisibility. Invisibility is a creature enchantment that gives enchanted creature unblockable, and force field because that's what she does. Uh, that was just a perfect, you know. But I'm gonna get off here so we can get some decks made, and I will see y'all tomorrow.